Hello and thanks for joining us. We went to Puffing Billy earlier to talk to a few volunteers who kept it running 364 days a year.
Here at Puffing Billy, we actually have station masters at a number of our stations, but this is our primary station, Belgrave. And the responsibility of the station master here is somewhat complex in the sense that you're responsible for the booking office. We have conductors that work on the trains, so we're responsible to manage those processes. We have tour groups that come in on the various trains as well, and so we've got to manage those tour groups. Today actually is a reasonably busy day, and we do get quiet days, of course, when it's raining, or the other times, of course, is when there are bushfire threats on. Not that happens very often, but it can be quite chaotic, and then the platform, of course, gets awfully busy. And so managing the platform and making sure people are in a safe environment is also part of the station master's responsibility. And that's part of the job of the conductors as well, is to make sure that everyone is still enjoying themselves, but certainly the refreshment room and the platform can get extremely busy during those times. There are people here who've been here for more than 50 years, but with my grey hair I should qualify, but I don't. I've only been here about 8 or 10 years. I enjoy the station master work perhaps more so than anything else because, again, you get to deal with both the internal people and, of course, you get to meet a lot of various people as far as the customers are concerned.
Hi Jeff, so could you talk to us about the history of Puffing Billy?
The Victorian Railways opened the narrow gauge railway between Upper Ferntree Gully and Gembrook in 1900. And the railway continued to serve the neighbourhood for more than 50 years until it closed in 1953 after a landslide. Such was the popularity of the little steam train in Melbourne that the Young Sun newspaper organised a series of farewell trains in 1954, and out of those grew the Puffing Billy Preservation Society, who kept the railway running and made it into what it is today.
Oh wow, so it seems like Puffing Billy has certainly kept the entertainment factor, in the local community. How many tourists do you attract, and are they overseas tourists or are they local?
Well, we are very fortunate at the moment. Our passenger numbers are growing. Our passenger numbers are growing at about 12% a year currently, and in the last business year we carried over 340,000 passengers. Yes, a lot of our passengers do come from Melbourne and Victoria, but increasingly more of our passengers come from overseas, traditionally now from China and India.
It seems like you've got a large variety of tourists that come. Could you tell us about the annual fun run and its contribution to the community?
The great train race that we run, the fun run that we operate every year on the first Sunday in May, started in 1982, and it was an initiative from one of our volunteers. And this is another event that has just grown year on year. And this year, more than 3,400 runners competed against the train.
Wow, that's a huge turnout. It seems like you've been on, with the society for so many years. What are some of the major highlights have you had, and have you got any funny stories for us?
We held a day where we celebrated the 60th anniversary of the Puffing Billy Preservation Society, the 50th anniversary of the return of the train to Emerald, and the launch of our new book, Saving Puffing Billy. And funny stories, yep. So the driver and the fireman both put dresses on, frocked up, and it all went well until the fireman got too close to the fire and his dress caught fire.
Well, thank you for coming down to talk to us about Puffing Billy, and I hope that Puffing Billy will be successful in the future.
Thank you, thank you. It's a great place, and there's always something happening. And you can come down, bring your cameras, and get